From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Winter back with a vengeance. Snow blanketing the region. Billings could get a foot by the time all is said and done. The mountains likely to get multiple feet. The latest on conditions and school closures. Plus, the Billings water audit due out tonight. We'll set the table on what to possibly expect. And the community continues to tell commissioners they do not want Metra to be a detention facility. We look back at the latest protests this weekend. Good morning. Welcome back to Montana This Morning on this Monday, February 3rd. I'm Casey Conlon. He's Miller Robson, the most important man of the day, the week, the month.
Yeah, well, it's crazy
Looks
out
like
there.
We've got a lot going on.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, if you step outside, there's a wee bit of snow out there. Yeah, we've been mentioning this the last couple of days. We had a chance to see a winter storm impact the area, and there we go. Yeah, here. And not only that, we've already seen some record temperatures, record snowfall yesterday. Now our highs and our lows well below average for this time of the season. But what I want to focus on is, first off, record snow yesterday. We had 3.8 inches officially at the airport. What we need is the moisture, though. It's so dry out there, almost 0.3 of an inch of moisture, and we could add a quarter more with this snow today, too. So that's what we need. We need the moisture, not necessarily liking all that snow out there because of the impacts on the roads out there. You can see for the moisture totals month and year ahead. For the month of snow, yeah, looking pretty good, but still the whole for the season, we can make a bigger dent into that 11-inch deficit by the end of the day. You can see the snow falling across the area will continue to stay with us through the afternoon, especially here in Billings. And yeah, there's watches and warnings and advisories everywhere. Not only do we have to deal with the snow, it's very, very cold out there. I mean, we're talking about wind chills in the double digits. That's how cold it is. So a lot of stuff to break down with the main weather, and we'll do that as we go along this hour. So stick around.
All right. Thank you very much, Miller. Yeah, usually the big story with this kind of weather, the roads, the road conditions. The Montana Department of Transportation listing many across the state as snow covered and icy. Let's go ahead and take a look right now at your road map. This obviously shows so many of these checkerboard patterns here that mean, yes, there are hazards out there. Pretty much any commute that's going on in south, central, and eastern Montana is going to be hazardous in some way, shape, or form. So just give yourself extra time if you have to be out there. If you don't have to be out there, don't be out there. Just do not go on these roads. Do we have another look at some of these pictures we can take a look at live from any of these cameras? If we do, we're going to show you what some of these places look like out in areas out there. Again, this is King Avenue from our weather cams here. Look, there's just not that many cars on the road, and we hope to keep it that way, again, as snow and ice blankets this area for travel this morning. Now, some things you won't see on Billings roads, school buses. That's because there are a number of closures in the city and around the area. Let's start in Billings. All of School District 2 canceled today, an official snow day. It's also canceled for Billings Catholic schools, Elder Grove schools on the west end, and Elysian schools. Also around the area, Huntley Project and Shepherd, they have canceled school today. So have Joliet and Bridger, and some more cancellations are rolling in. Park City and Columbus, no schools there in those Stillwater County areas. Broadview, no school today for them. And Laurel, just about an hour ago, they decided to cancel school themselves today after originally saying it would still go on. Now, there are still a couple of schools that are operating today, including Lockwood. They say that it is optional. No tardy or absence will be counted against a student, but they will be open for those that want to go. Sweetgrass County also will be in session, although no buses. We know Absaroka and Lame Deer are late starts. If you have any more to send it to us, news@ktvu.com. We'll continue to update on air and online. Switching gears, results of a months-long audit of the City of Billings water systems will be presented tonight at City Council. The city hired firm SL Serco back in October to review the billing system and ensure meters were taking correct readings. Issues arose last summer over unusually high utility bills for many residential customers after the city switched over to a new system. SL Serco has been conducting similar audits, they say, for 60 years. They will present findings and take public comments tonight starting at 5:30 p.m. in council chambers at City Hall. Well, residents of Billings aren't waiting for another county commissioner's public comment session to express their disapproval of an idea to offer Metra Park as an ICE detention center. MTN's Marcus Kakova was outside Metra with protesters this weekend.
Honked for, yelled at, ridiculed, and supported.
What people don't understand is that our people are hard workers. Like, they come over here to seek a better life. They come here, they work hard, they earn their living, they take care of their families.
The ones outside of Metra this weekend are standing not for themselves, but they say for those who, under the shadow of deportation, cannot share their experiences.
If you can be a voice, get out there. Be their voice, because they can't. They can't use their voices right now. It's up to us.
For organizers Alicia Nava and Tatiana Morales, there lingers a lot of familiar faces who aren't actually present at today's protest.
When I think of my culture and my love for my people, I think of my dad.
I am made up of every abuela, every titi, every auntie who taught me how to cook, who taught me how to drive, who taught me who to be weary of, how to protect myself, who taught me how to use my voice.
They say if those outside Latino and Hispanic cultures want to reap their pleasures, it comes with the people, documented or not.
You love our culture? You want to go vacation in Mexico? You want to play our music? You want to dance to our music? You want to eat our food? But you don't want to support our people? You don't want to support your people? That don't make sense to me. That does not make sense to me.
But looming over cultural complexities, the fences of Metra Park are beginning to look a lot different to those contemplating their proposed future. Behind those fences, the stories, faces, lives of friends and family.
Thinking about what they want to do to the Metra, I think about the rodeo and 4-H and the animals that are stuck behind these cages and behind these fences. And I don't want to see a single person treated like that.
Marcus Kakova, MTN News.
A group in Stillwater County has been given $75,000 to come up with ideas to stimulate the economy. Stillwater community members and officials tasked into 5 groups meant to focus on projects like murals and a new rec center, not dissimilar to one Billings leaders floated in 2023. The project comes after the area's largest employer, Siboney-Stillwater, laid off nearly 40% of its workforce back in November. The grant comes from the Rural Community Assistance Corporation, which points to work revitalizing Lewistown's downtown as its poster child.
Their downtown area had a lot of empty storefronts. They expressed that there was a lack of hope about the future of the community.
Out of that came a movie theater, and that blossomed into a brewery and all sorts of things that have really revitalized that community.
The group also says they're attempting to come up with a private capital funding list for future projects so it won't all fall on taxpayers. The Bureau of Land Management, Montana and Dakota State Office is talking to the public, currently asking for input on possible oil and gas lease sales this September. The 30-day comment period is now open. The BLM looking for comment on 29 parcels totaling over 9,000 acres. BLM says leasing is the first step in the process to develop oil and gas resources. They're open to public use, occupy, or develop public lands. Lease applications for drilling permits are reviewed by the BLM. They do an environmental analysis while coordinating with state partners and stakeholders. The comment period is open until March 3rd. Former New York Congressman Lee Zeldin confirmed to be the next administrator of the EPA last week. The day before Zeldin's confirmation, the EPA's acting administrator ousted all members of the Clean Air Scientific Advisory Committee and the Science Advisory Board. The two groups provide independent expertise to EPA staff. The agency will reportedly be accepting nominations to fill the boards in the coming weeks. Feeding people and keeping Blackfeet culture alive. That's the mission of one nonprofit in Browning as they look to uplift Blackfeet Nation. In this morning's Montana Ag Report, MTN's Brianna Juneau shows us how fast Blackfeet is reclaiming food sovereignty.
It may look like a regular trip to the grocery store.
These are delish.
But it's much bigger than that.
The types of food that we eat is even more important because then that connects us to where that food come from or what's the importance of that food. And ours here is connection to Blackfeet culture.
Having access to healthy and culturally significant food like bison isn't always as easy as running down to the grocery store, but Fast Blackfeet in Browning is hoping to fill that gap.
Well, you know, it's kind of been hard times ever since COVID hit, and I've probably been coming here over a year.
Gay Bennett's family is just one of 400 households served by Fast Blackfeet each week.
The bison, you know, you go to buy it in even in local stores, it's really expensive, and it's free here.
Fast Blackfeet provides buffalo meat and other traditional Blackfeet foods, working to provide food access and nutritional education.
But if you don't have access and they're not affordable, if you can't afford to buy that buffalo meat, then you're not going to have that opportunity to be able to experiment with recipes and introduce that food into your family's plates. So this was 2024 was our first year having buffalo meat in the pantry for the entire year. Whether that was through our purchasing or doing local bison hunts here on the reservation.
Focusing on traditional Blackfeet ways of life is one way the program works to sustain culture.
Sustainability really happens in the growing health program of like supporting local producers when we're doing buffalo harvests and helping people be on the land and harvest their own foods and medicines.
Building cultural sustainability ensures that even those in remote areas have access to essential, affordable, and culturally relevant food resources.
We're not sovereign if we're not eating our own foods. We're not working towards food sovereignty until we have people that are providing the food, teaching about the foods, and then providing the opportunity to connect with those foods as well.
In Browning, Brianna Juneau, MTN News.